Bundaberg Rum Super Saturday begins with a high-quality matchup. We've got a team in the top four and a team who might well be in the top four by the end of the weekend. The Manly Sea Eagles. Who would have thought they'd be knocking on the door of the top four two-thirds of the way into the season? They only had 7 wins all last year, but the mad genius Des Hasler has Manly humming. 9 wins, 6 losses. Plenty of those wins against quality opposition as well. And they don't have Tom Trbojevic, of course, but they're used to that. He has only played a handful of games for the Sea Eagles as Daly Cherry Evans leads the Manly side onto this ANZ Stadium. And don't let those pleasant pictures deceive you. It is freezing with a howling breeze that should favour the Sea Eagles in the first half, running to the northern end. As for the South Sydney Rabbitohs, plenty of points in the bank early, but they have paid the price for success. They have struggled to handle the rigours of a state of origin, while at the same time dealing with injury and suspension. They've lost their last 4, but they are coming off a much-needed bye. Mark Gasnier, Brett Comorley in commentary this afternoon. Hello to you, gentlemen. If we have a game that has any of the drama that we had at Brookvale in round 4, then we're in for some afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dan. What a game it was. Damien Cook, what form this man has been in. Terrific on Wednesday night. More importantly, he needs his big men to do a really good job. They need to get back to the simple things. Reynolds, Walker, they need to reintroduce themselves to each other. Only played 1 game together in the last 5 weeks.
Brett Comorley, as I welcome you in, you've been out there on the field. How significant is that win?
Oh, Dan, it's a hurricane. Obviously, the blue sky's out. It looks lovely on the TV, but the wind is extremely strong at the back of Manly. So Cherry Evans' kicking game the first 40 minutes will have to be very, very precise.
A momentous Bundaberg Rum Super Saturday commences. It's Manly versus South. And Adam Fanua-Blake will bring it back. And what a season he is putting together, along with his partner in Marty Tapau. Over 150 metres a game for Fanua-Blake, and Joel Thompson is carrying it forward in his 12th season of first grade. Manly are the daytime specialists. They've won all 6 games in the afternoon this year. Not such a good record at night time, as Jake Trbojevic is hitting it up here. Played all 80 minutes on Wednesday night. Now Tapau's first foray. That's a pretty good run. These are good signs for Manly. Nice metres early. Here's Jake Trbojevic again. Now Cherry Evans giving it away here to Joel Thompson. He runs right over the top of Walker, and the late offload as well. Cherry Evans to Cust. And Manly have marched this ball 70 metres in the first set of this match. So now they have the wind to contend with here. Cherry Evans puts it up. It's going to float back. It's well weighted. Campbell Graham. He is gone. A terrific tackle from Brendan Elliott. And Manly, what an early statement this has been.
What a start from the Manly Sea Eagles. Curtis Sirinen getting over there at Cody Walker. They move the football back into the middle of the field, go through the middle of the ruck, then go back to the right edge. 70 metres on the set. That gave him the opportunity for that kick. And Cherry Evans allowed for the win brilliantly. Pinpoint accuracy.
You're right, Gaz. It was a wonderful power set, but it's really hard to kick with a strong wind at your back. It's easier to probably kick into the wind with that control. It was wonderful from Cherry, 1 metre short of the line.
Not a bad dropout considering the conditions, with the Bunnies still waiting to get the ball for the first time. Tapau into Cook and into Knight. The loose pass picked up by Cust. So Manly, the first chance to attack in this game, and they go to the left side as the former buddy Walker is captured. Now to Fua, to Cust, Cust to Fainu. Now a flat-footed Fanua-Blake. And he captured quite comfortably here. South Sydney noted for their great starts. Manly not so much. Here's Walker. Back in field to Fainu. Can't get around the defence. And Souths have handled this so far pretty comfortably as we get to the final tackle. Jerry Evans, dummy half, threading the needle. Now work to do here for Dewey, and Manly force a second consecutive line dropout as they tighten the vice early.
Yeah, Manly applying plenty of pressure. The first set they've had the ball, they went length of field, they got a line drop. Now they're asked lots of attacking options. Wonderful grubber kick from Dewey, Jerry Evans. Quick restart from South. They've got play quickly underway.
Wow, Cade Cust. His eyes lit up. He miscues the pass.
Roll up. Clock on.
And South Sydney survive.
Yeah, right idea from young Cust. Dylan Walker, he was ready for it too. There was huge space back there. Reynolds went nice and early. It was a wobbly old kick into the wind. But you can see Cust, he realises where the space is. Dylan Walker senses it too. The pass just wasn't good enough.
So the Bunnies will get their first use of it here. On a 4-game losing streak. They've lost their last couple here at ANZ, but certainly reasons, certainly excuses. It's been a tough period for the Bunnies, with John Sutton now moving up to 13th on the all-time games list today. He joins Ryan Hoffman and Jeff Gerard. Game number 325. What a tremendous stalwart he has been.
Been great, hasn't he?
He is Knight playing it. Now Cook probing out a dummy half to Tola. Underrated front rower for the Bunnies. Now comes to Walker. On to Burns. His second game back from that hamstring tear. And the Souths get to their final tackle. And Reynolds puts it up into the wind. And it's nicely taken by Gagai. Roberts. He can't get it past George Tafua. And Manly get the ball back.
We can see just how strong that win was there for Adam Reynolds. He's normally got a kicking game that lands pinpoint onto the corner and went straight across the field. Just didn't know how to kick it.
So 2 big outs coming into this game. Sam Burgess for South, an infection following shoulder surgery. And Tom Trbojevic rested after State of Origin on Wednesday. South Sydney, they have a few players missing still, with all the Burgesses gone. Jerry Evans, his pass juggled by Sully. So Alex Johnston is not there. Ethan Lowe rested after his tremendous night here on Wednesday. So now the Bunnies bring it back, and here's Adam Dewey. Had a game at fullback last year. He's a bit of a Mr. Fix-It. He's played halfback, he's played in the centres this year, and now he's got the number 1 on his back. As Graham is swamped. And now Sutton down the left side. So here comes a nice run out of dummy half there from Burns. And Cook sending it on to the former Manly Sea Eagle in Knight. And that late offload allows Cook some space. Back to Totola, bumping away from Fainu, up to the 20. And South Sydney starting to put it together. Final play. Reynolds shapes to kick. Now Walker. Dewey. Numbers. Burns. And over the line is Graham, but Elliott got underneath. A tremendous save.
Shelled up. Last tackle.
Well, what a 2019 he is having. Brendan Elliott, sensational in attack, and this time in defence. The left edge, though, this sums up where South Sydney are at the moment. If you cast your mind back over the opening 6 or 7 rounds, their left edge was precise. Crisp hands, passing was perfect. This, similar setup but ill-timed, people out of position, and they got the result. That would have normally resulted in a try. On this occasion, held up.
So Brendan Elliott continues his surge in first grade. He has been the fullback for Manly now in 11 games this season as Tapau gets early ball. And on the bounce, Walker pushing away from Reynolds. And now spots a little opening before it's closed down. As Tapau made nearly 200 metres against South the last time they played. We'll play it on the 4th here. Fainu likely to play all 80. And that ball's come free.
Loose carry.
And that's South Sydney ball. So here's Gagai on the 0. Can't escape from Fanua Blake.
We might see a little bit of that. Errors, I mean. Both teams really keen to offload the football.
Zero tackle.
You think it goes, you turn up, we just watched the Canterbury Cup. That was an amazing game of football that went sideline and sideline, end to end. Turn up and it's a day game. It's dry, sunny, conditions look perfect. I think as a player, you get excited.
So South, they'll be excited here because they've got a genuine chance as they put it into touch.
Straighten up on the line.
To change your game, Brett Kamali, as a half, when you get to the ground, and yes, it is beautiful, but it is windy.
It's obviously harder to control with a kicking game. You've got to get your distance control much more perfect and build pressure. Dry games you love.
So let's see what Souths have got in attack. They go to their favourite side as it comes from Walker to from Reynolds to Burns. And Burns has been hard work for the Manly defence out there. As Cook goes back towards the middle. Murray. Oh, a great tackle there. And of course, it's Jake Trbojevic. Now Reynolds. Dewey, the no-look pass. Good pick up from Gagai. Gagai tries to barge his way to the line. Final tackle. Roberts waits. Reynolds. The stab kick. It's got heat on it. It's got too much. That is an un-South Sydney-like finish to a set. They are the best in the game at forcing line dropouts, but Reynolds would love that over again.
Well, Adam Reynolds, he has 18 of them for 2019. What a tackle, Trbojevic, on his Origin teammate. But again, he normally gets that so right. It just shows you the little bit that South Sydney are off. In the last 5 weeks in particular.
So Manly, if they can get the points today, they would go to equal second, at least for the time being. As Fanua Blake forces the pass. Fainu on to Powell. And Manly, early in the count here, about to re-enter South territory. Now here's Cust, tough run. Last time he and Daly Cherry Evans were at this ground was the 2013 grand final. Cust was 14 getting a selfie. Haven't times changed? Jake Trbojevic now.
It's a great photo, isn't it?
Here's Cherry Evans. Thompson against the grain. Oh, he drags Cook along for the ride, then shrugs him away. Now Elliott. Elliott to Sully. Up to the 10. Sully taken by Burns and Graham. Last tackle for the Seagulls. Oh, hello, a knock on a dummy half.
Before they play the ball.
Jeez, he's damaging over there, Sirinen, isn't he? Giving Cody Walker all sorts of problems. First 2 sets, he had a lovely offload, bumped Cody Walker about 3 metres. Again, just back against the grain. It's in between Totola and Cook. Cook hangs on for dear life. Potential for an offload there too. There it is, realises it. And great work getting it over to Sully. Just tries to skip on the outside of Burns and does so. But Campbell Graham read it brilliantly, came in to help his centre partner out.
Just apologise, I've done Curtis a disservice there. He's come up with a couple of great plays. He's become Manly's #1 offloader. He's overtaken Marty Tapau.
Yep.
He's really putting together a tremendous 2019, and fingers crossed his body can hold up, because he's on track for the first time in his career to play 20 games in a season. Let's hope we don't put the hex on him, because he's really putting it together. So here's Murray on to Walker and escapes Sully, then gets rid of Thompson. Adam Reynolds made a very interesting point a few days ago. He said Walker is not scarred by the experience of Origin. In fact, he was our best player against the West's Tigers. So South Sydney rallying around their #6 as Reynolds.
Oh,
that's a torpedo into the wind, and Elliott stands his ground nicely. And there would have been a time when you would have very little confidence that Elliott would have taken that ball, but he has grown so much in first grade that he just gobbles those up now. There's Tom Trbojevic. You know, Tom Trbojevic hasn't lost a game since September last year in any form of the game. But Manly fans will be happy to see him back, likely next week. So again, the meter's coming along here for Manly quite comfortably as Jake Trbojevic runs into Knight. Totola there as well. And on the final play, cussed at the line. Easy one for Dewey to take. Geez, that's hard in mouth stuff, isn't it? The way Dewey holds that ball out in front of him, but goes to ground with it. The Bunnies started the season 10 wins and 1 loss. A typical Wayne Bennett start to a season, getting all the points in the bank early. So they're still very nicely positioned.
And that one loss was against Manly.
Sure was, in Golden Point as well. Liam Knight having his best season of first grade. The nice quick play the ball for Cook. Now Reynolds on the last. Finds open space. And Elliott will want to let this go, but he can't. And he is gone. That's better from Adam Reynolds. And South Sydney get themselves a repeat set.
Yeah, that was a great kick from Adam Reynolds, but also the chase from the right edge. Need the ball to sit. Great distance control. They sprint down, though. They understand the urgency. Brendan Elliott's waiting. It just pops up. Gagai gets first shot on him, and then Reynolds and Roberts chase down. They get a great chance here to get the repeat set. Some attacking options. Will they go to the left, Gaz? The left seems to be the edge they're chasing.
Well, I'd just like to see them open up the field. They've played off the middle twice. And South Sydney are at their best when they come just past this right post and open up that left edge for Walker and Sutton.
Interesting dropout, the sort of kick you'd expect into the wind. Low and hard, but not necessarily with the wind at their backs. Totola now over the 30. Still waiting for our first points in this game is Reynolds to Sutton. Walker looming up. Here's Cook. On to Totola. He's almost there. Jake Trbojevic and Thompson with the tackle. Cook holding it up. Oh, lovely. But hang on, there's a problem. Dewey's in if it's legal.
Okay, mate. I'm at tackle 5 now. Hang on, I've got it. I'm at tackle 5. Are you thinking interference from the defender as well? Okay. I'm at tackle 5. I have a no try based on the obstruction. However, if there is an obstruction, we've got a penalty against Manly down here for the 10 metres.
Right, you heard it from Grant Atkins. He's certainly delayed his pass, Damien Cook. But was any defender impeded?
Well, I think Liam Knight runs into Adam Elliott near the goalpost here. So Liam Knight just stops Adam Elliott, which takes Brendan
Damien
Elliott.
Cook runs around his own player, which prevents the Manly defence from coming forward to attempt a tackle. The on-field decision of offside against Dylan Walker will remain. We have a decision.
So they get the ball back, Mark Asnier threw a penalty. That was shot there, Manly. They had 2 people past the goalpost. Unfortunately there.
Well, South Sydney will get the football. Dylan Walker,
10 metres.
They'll take the 2 here, won't they, South? Interesting decision here.
Well, Wayne Bennett is big on the 2 points. It would be very surprising if they didn't.
And there's the signal. So
but
the
again,
Bunnies to take the lead.
You saw the left edge playing off the middle of the field. They've obviously got a conscious plan to have a crack at Manly's left edge. They're right. They've shifted that way off the long side on 3 occasions now, and they had him short. Look at that. They're shot for numbers. Dylan Walker just does his best. George Tafua, he's the winger. He's ended up next to the post. That's how far he's had to come in. It was lovely work from Cook. Just held the ball up, waiting. But that was obvious because Elliott couldn't get there. But it goes back to the original offside to Dylan Walker.
So Reynolds had a terrible start to the season with his kicking, and you see it there. Make it 19 consecutive goals. So he's putting it together there. And South Sydney on the board first. And they lead 2 points to 0 And let's go downstairs to a rugged-up Lara Pitt. Lars, how is it down there?
Well, it's certainly fresh down. The weather zone now telling me it's a field of 6 degrees, so nice and fresh down here for me. But I can tell you, whilst there was a very hefty breeze earlier, it has dropped off a little bit. So hopefully good news for the kickers. The Rabbitohs and Manly coming off the bye. I can tell you the Rabbitohs spent a lot of this week doing self-reflection, one-on-one sessions with the coaching staff, and also watch a lot of video of what they did well to start the season, all in a bid to stop this losing run. They still look a bit tentative and a bit clunky in attack to start this game.
Thank you, Lara. Don't forget, once we're done here, it's off to Suncorp for the Broncos and the Warriors. Brisbane, they beat the Warriors a few weeks ago on the back of defence, so that'll be an intriguing matchup. And remarkably, whoever wins that game will be only 2 points outside the 8. And then the big one, Cam Smith's 400th. That is live on Fox League. Melbourne versus Cronulla from Amy Park. And there's a great documentary on after that as well, so keep it right here on Fox League. So the Bunnies get through their set. As Reynolds' kick comfortably taken by Brendan Elliott. The Bunnies, a perfect completion rate. Manly have made a few errors here, but we're nicely poised. So we're about to cross the midway point of this first half. Here's Garrick now playing it for Fine Herb. There's Joel Thompson. Now Jake Trbojevic on to Cherry Evans, out to Elliott. Going one-on-one with Walker. Walker comes up with the tackle. Short side, Cherry Evans on the last. The double pump, then the pass to Sully. He can't hang on to it. Oh, hang on, we continue here. Cherry Evans to Garrick. Garrick, he'll flick it back to Cherry Evans. Then the audacious flick back to Cust. And I fancy this might go upstairs. He doesn't know if it's a try. Cherry Evans doesn't know if it's a try. Nobody knows. Oh, my goodness.
Well, they're confident. Don't worry about the video referee. And the South fans, geez, they would be keen. Damien Cook can see the funny side to it, but they would be keen to have another look, as we all are. It went through so many sets of hands, the shift over to the right edge. Well, Daly Cherry Evans down the short side, double pumps to Sully.
Well, how's that not a knock-on? That's the only play that they could have looked at, because the rest of them here are passes, so, and they all look fine anyway. But surely Sully has dropped that forward.
Well, here it is.
Has Cody Walker touched it?
Well, the thing is, any other day of the week, and this is the problem with it. We saw Naden the other week catch the football, and yes, he eventually saved himself by kicking it, but how many times do we see through the ruck a forward comes up with a little bobble, it may touch the ground, it may not. Well, it generally doesn't.
Now that's interesting. That has, as Noddy suggested, touched Cody Walker, but he has lost it forward into Walker.
Yeah.
Before it's gone backwards, so surely that is a knock-on.
I'm in agreement, but even if it wasn't, like how many if that's in the ruck and that's a forward taking it up and he does that, I guarantee you the ref's going to stop the play and say no, knock on.
It's worth a look, though, isn't it? Isn't that one worth a look?
We're getting into real murky waters with that ruling.
So the crowd relentless as Garrick adds the extras. And this angle won't show it, but the ball touches Sully on the line.
But even there, he's knocked it forward into his own head.
That's right, and he may even, that ball might be live, but by the time it touches Walker, that's metres in front of where Sully started bobbling. That has to be a knock-on.
I think they're going to say that he's had control himself and then he's tapped it backwards. And it's hit South, which seems to be play on. They were confident.
The only way he could have come up with it is if he's deemed that he gained control before it hit Walker's head. But again, he knocked it on into his own head.
All right, well, we continue. And it's Manly with the first try. And Cade Cust, his 4th try of first grade. To Powell. Into Cook and Reynolds. There's now Cust at the line. That pass was well read by Roberts. But Thompson still fights his way to the 30-metre line. Now is Walker. 62 games for South, including a premiership between 2013 and 2015. As Jake Jabojevic sends it right. Cherry Evans with the dummy, then the gallop. Now Sully. Sully is proving to be very difficult to handle out there. So comes to Cherry Evans on the last, and an awkward-looking left foot kick, but most effective. And Manly, again, after points, they are really finding meters at will, aren't they?
That's a great kick from Daly Cherry Evans off the outside of the left foot so that he can curl it over the sideline. That takes some sort of skill, but again, a lot of meters on offer when they move the football to the right. And here's the try again. Daly Cherry Evans down the short side. There it is. Knocks it into his own head. Anyway, they played it on. It was great hands in the end from Cust. Garrick just flicks it out, as does Cherry Evans, the big flick.
Well, the lesson is you play to the whistle. You keep going. And Manly did that, and they've been rewarded. Here's Graham.
You just spoke, Mark Gasnier, about the amount of metres Manly make when they shift the football. Yeah. South Sydney, when they went on that winning run over the first 11 games, they were first in run metres. They're battling to get up the field today.
Sutton. Sirenen there. Fanua Blake down low. Silver lining for South is the stints of Fanua Blake and Tapau probably will end shortly. Here's a penalty for South.
You can always get extra minutes out of your big man when you've had 57% possession. Golden opportunity here for South Sydney again. I would love to see them open up this right post. It's a big shift out to their left.
So it's Dean Britt first to hit it up, and he marches it beyond the 10.
Inside 10. Just wait, we're inside 10.
The penalty count now to 4-0 for the Red and Greens. Here's Totola. In South Sydney, they were a point-scoring machine first 3 months of this competition. This has been their problem. Here's Reynolds. Oh! Oh, my goodness! What a shot by Tafua! And the referee is comfortable that it's legal. As Dewey walks back to his mark. What about the timing? Here's Cook. Walker inside. Roberts. Cook again. Burns flat-footed. Trying to shake off Garrick. Does shake off Garrick. Back inside the 10. That tackle brings up the final play here for the Bunnies. Liam Knight, first receiver. Reynolds kicks it straight into Walker, but here's another penalty for South.
Dylan Walker again.
You're offside. You're offside on the set again. Do not speak to him like that again. You don't speak to him.
Dylan Walker offside again, but Tafua. Geez, when he hits you, you stay hit. When he gets it right. Oh, poor Dewey.
So now Totola. Captured within a metre. South have crossed the line once, but Campbell Graham was held up. Here's Reynolds. The beautiful shot pass to Britt, who pours through and scores, and South have their first try. Adam Reynolds at the line. A delightful pass. And we're all tied up.
Yeah, that was a wonderful set play. They've realised that Manly are playing up and in. That's a shot from George Tafua. God, imagine copying that and just getting up and playing the ball in the current day. But now they set up out the back, and Britt runs that little outline. They get between defenders. That's great work from Adam Reynolds just to assess what the outside defenders are doing.
Yeah, I was thinking he was going to kick him behind with that edge playing up and in the way it is. but goes the second option. You're right, just a little change from Britt, little subtlety. Instead of going to Cuss inside shoulder, a late little movement to go to his outside shoulder, that being his left shoulder, generally the weaker shoulder. And what the hope of that is, they hope that the smaller man plants his feet, and then the strength of the bigger man just skips on the outside, generally their weaker shoulder, the left one, and straight over the try line. He's been good today, Brett. Been good this season, in fact. I think Liam Knight and Totola have done an amazing job too.
And I think they've showed their hands, haven't they, Manly on the edges? They're playing up and in, so the centre and the winger are just charging.
They always do. And without Tommy and Elliott, there's a lot of opportunity for kicking behind. Elliott does get caught on a shorter side, but especially when it's a 6-4 split.
So the kicking streak continues for Reynolds. That's 20 in a row now. And in a clash between third and fifth, we're getting a quality contest. South Sydney 8 points to 6. Dean Britt, good for him, his first NRL try. It's been hard yakka getting to the top grade. He's 25, and he really is starting to put it together.
That was a great shot. See how Cuss planted his feet, and he was ready for the contact on his right shoulder, and then the late movement from Britt. He couldn't shift in time, Cuss.
So that'll be most relieving for South Sydney. They are still perfect with their completions. Now they have a try to show for it. Oh, how good was this man on Wednesday night, Cam Murray? Now Cook to walk up. Sutton. Dragged down by Sully. Short side's where they go to Walker. He spotted something. Gets over halfway, and Cherry Evans makes the tackle. Now to Tola. You're right, Gaz, he's gone through a mountain of work in this opening stint.
He's been brilliant this year.
Gets him close to 100 metres. Now here's Reynolds with the end-over-end kick. And Tafua takes it comfortably. It has to be said, the wind didn't appear to play much of a role there.
It was a much better set, though, from South Sydney. A lot more intent and purpose, and I love it when Cook tests the short side.
Lara telling us on the sideline the wind has dropped a little, and that kick would appear to be evidence of that. It was tight when these teams clashed in round 4, and it appears to be going down that path again. Here's Fainu. And a penalty, the first one against South Sydney. So we haven't seen Manly with attacking ball for a little while. Now they get a chance for their second try. There's the mad genius. It has been a tremendous resurgence. Manly, 7 wins and 17 losses last year, and we've already overtaken that mark with a couple of months remaining. To Powell, up to the 20. 3 needed to stop him. Jerry Evans, on to Cust. Cust to Elliott. Elliott pushes off from Walker. Then the underarm for Sirinen. He gets away from Walker, but Walker comes back. Tackle made on the 10. Plenty of tackles here for the Sea Eagles. There's Cust. Turns it inside. And that's Paseka. He comes back to the left to Jake Trbojevic. Now to Cust. Held that pass up for Walker. Walker and Roberts. Walker. He almost runs over the... He does run over the top of Reynolds before Roberts gets his man. Last tackle, it's Cust. That has come off a South Sydney player. Then the toe through. See South Sydney come up with the ball. A little bit fortunate for the Bunnies, but they've got it back as Gagai almost goes down the middle and splits them open. There was another effective dummy half run. This is good stuff from South Sydney as Burns gets to within 15 of halfway. Another try scorer, Britt. Gets up gingerly, Dean Britt. As the fresh players into this game. That is Jaden Sewer, the 30th player used by South Sydney this year. Remarkable. They've gone through 30 players this year, and yet they sit third on the ladder. A welcome addition, Jaden Sewer, to this South Sydney lineup.
Couldn't be better timing, could it? The loss of George Burgess, Sam Burgess.
Hang on, time's off, boys. Come on.
We've got time off here. We've got Britt being treated in back play.
We saw Daly Cherry Evans when he tackled Dean Britt a little bit earlier. He checked on him as if he'd hit his head on the ground, and he knew he was concussed. They're assessing him.
Well, up the field a little earlier, Liam Knight, watch this, on Daly Cherry Evans. Gives him a little nudge.
Ooh.
And then Daly Cherry Evans actually got up and chased him. So there's that little nudge in the back. DC gets up and chases him and gives him a shove.
And what happens there, the rest of that set, Daly doesn't play any more tackles.
No, they lost their way.
Yeah, he gets the whiplash approach and chases him. Did we not see the same thing happen in Newcastle last night?
Yeah, Cooper Cronk the other week. So Britt's going to leave the field. HIA.
Yep, we won't see him until the start of the second half if he does pass that test. So we've crossed the half-hour mark of this game. Hard to get a read on, isn't it? As Manly work it up. Corey Waddell, his first hit up. Now Jake Dragojevic to Cust. Dummy. Can't crack this defence. Bailey Surinen is the number 23 there for South. Here's Cherry Evans again. Tackled after he kicked the ball, but gets the result he was chasing, and that is the ball into touch.
I'd like to see Manly switch now and do what they do best. Go in behind the ruck, a little bit of second phase play, and bring Fainu into the game. They've moved the football, and they've had success moving the football. They've taken up the metres, but I think the variation to it, and given that they have dominated possession this late in the first half, I think they would get some success through the middle.
Right, heads in, let's go. Behind you. Okay, that's it. Here we go, Damien. Right, shot clock off. 2 hands, pull in. Hold. Out.
So the Bunnies bring it back now. They have 3 players backing up from Wednesday night's game. There's James Roberts first to hit it up, and there's John Sutton. Still undecided if he wants to go around next year. He already has 100 more than 100 games more than the next player on South Sydney's all-time games played list. It's a good strong run from Amone. Now Turner. So South here, inching closer. Reynolds spots Cust rushing up but can't take advantage. The pass back to Amone in his second first grade game. Oh, hard to put down. So last here for the Red and Greens. A high kick to the right side. Gagai taps it back. Brilliantly taken by Sewer, but he's gobbled up.
Hand over here. Bring it out, 10.
And Manly will get this back.
James, up here. No, boys, Dylan.
I think it's only a matter of time before Reynolds sets up an option there off a 2-pass play. Brings Tafua up and just kicks him behind. There is so much space. Elliott's not covering the ground in behind. Tafua's staying up in the line. There is a mile of room in behind that left edge.
So Thompson plays it now with Jake Dragojevic. You would expect he'll get through all 80 here this afternoon.
That's unbelievable.
He played all 80 on Wednesday.
He's phenomenal.
And he did that after Origin 1, the Wednesday night game, obviously. He played 80 on the following weekend. Now here's Walker. Dillon grabbing across field. Then the flick for Sirinen. Now Sully. Taken by Burns. Nice play the ball, though. That allows Garrick some space. Then the adventurous chip kick. Oh, great work by Dewey. Courageously coming forward and taking that with Manly bodies pouring down on him.
He's a brave player, Dewey, isn't he? The hit he copped off Tafua. I mean, I felt it up here. and then puts his body on the line there. There was no second guessing himself there. Swooped on it.
Here's Turner. Tell you what we haven't seen much of this afternoon, and that is Cook running. He certainly does have a knack for picking his moments, and so far he's kept his powder dry. Last tackle here, and Roberts has the ball. And that's not the worst kick of all time.
Well, Cook just a little shake of the head with that. James Roberts overruled him, went in and got the football and went for a kick.
Garrick is the man who brings it back, and now Sully, who continues to bend the defensive line back with each run.
Oh, Sirenin on Sirenin, how good. Little bro just got a win.
He sure did. That's going to be...
Kicks it, he's offside.
That's going to be South Sydney ball via a penalty.
Daly's offside and intentionally kicks it.
So that was a dog's breakfast. Now the Bunnies are gifted an opportunity.
You see there for Damien Cook, he just said it there, no runs, no metres, 25 tackles. They actually haven't won any play the ball, South Sydney, for him to be able to jump out. You're right, he's selective. When they win and play the ball and there's one marker, gone. When there's two markers, he's just a passer.
We've seen a lot, though, today where he's actually gone and taken 10, 20 metres and then passed. I think he's actually been pretty good.
So the Bunnies...
Can we see a try like he did the other night?
Inside the 20, a full set inside Manly's 20-metre zone. And it's Kyle Turner crashing upfield. Cook goes left to Walker. Now Burns inside Sully. Hard shake off Sirenin. Burns gets up. Not in a great place. There's Bailey Sirenin now. Wrapped up centre field. Here's an adventurous pass for Gagai. He gets over. A brilliant pass and a sensational put down.
Have a try. Just check touchline, please.
That is top notch. And there it is. Gagai gets it
remains
down.
in the field of play and he grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
But the deception as well from Gagai. He actually tucked in behind Roberts as if it was going to be a set play, potentially a double decoy play. And at the last moment, he knew it was on. Just took off to the outside, and that got Tafua confused. He stayed with James Roberts. The pass beat him. And Brendan Elliott, well, he was actually first defender next to the ruck, so he couldn't get there in time either. Take a bow, South Sydney. Watch this. See, just tucks in behind, scoops on the outside. Tafua, he doesn't know where they've gone. Lovely ball, Noddy.
Take a bow, Adam Reynolds. We saw Mitchell Pearce throw one of these last night and land it straight on his winger's chest. Just the right length, just the right height. We've seen George Tafua come out the line and absolutely smash some people. Knew he was coming again. Pumps out the back, throws it over his head. 6 try assists for this season, but that was probably the best pass he's thrown all year.
And to think Gagai doesn't like playing on the wing, he'd prefer to play in the centres. And we've seen what he's done in Origin and what he can do there. I think many South Sydney fans will be thinking we are quite comfortable for Dane to have the number 2 or the number 5 on his back. So this will test Reynolds' kicking streak, 20 in a row. And that's an outstanding stat, 4 from 6 from the far right. That'll be up there with the best in the game. So here he comes, and he's hooked it away.
No goal.
But South Sydney have opened up a nice little lead, 12 points to 6, as we take in another replay of that wonderful pass from Adam Reynolds. Dane Gagai, only his 3rd try for the season. What about this? Since he's made his Origin debut back in 2015, he scored 11 Origin tries. Since then, that's only his 12th NRL try. What a strike rate he has in State of Origin.
You look at that. 17 from 17 for South Sydney. You speak about they've just come off the back of a bye, Dan. Wayne Bennett told them about having conversations. They've gone back to simplicity that Mark Asnier mentioned pre-game. Great kicking game, high completion rate, and now they're 12-6 up.
Yeah, and they've conceded 1 penalty.
Yeah.
So now Siren and Bailey hitting it up as Cook gets it on to Amone. They're already up to halfway here, the Bunnies. Now Sewer almost goes through. Walker missing the tackle. Quick play the ball for Cook, who explores. That kick ricochets off Waddell, but a friendly bounce for Cherry Evans, but he's swamped. And now he's in trouble. Now he's gone. And this will be a long dropout. And South Sydney have a huge chance to extend their lead just before the break. What a play.
I think they just pressed the go button. They've just realised that there's a game of football here. They've eased their way into it. They got rid of the cobwebs from the bye. Now they're charging 5 people on the ricochet from the kick, drag him backwards. Manly will wait the shot clock to be run down. They'll have a full set of 6 here, South, and they could take a dominant lead into the half.
Cherry Evans aims for the sideline. Oh, taken by Gagai. Just for a moment, I'm not sure he knew exactly where that line was, but Gagai did well. Roberts to the middle. We're thinking field goal, not at the end of this.
If they don't score, probably right, Dan. Adam Reynolds just get the 7-point lead.
A repeat set, no good to them here. Manly could run the shot clock down. As Reynolds goes to Walker.
What about try?
Walker to Graham. Graham gets over. Oh, they did it with 42 seconds to spare.
That's up to 4, Jared. I've got a try. Can we just confirm that there's no obstruction and that Moses Sully makes a defensive decision?
And all of a sudden, it has just clicked for the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah, they've gone to the left edge. The Mark Gasnier has said he'd love to see him do.
On the outside of the South Sydney lead runner. It's a defensive decision by Moses Sully to go in on that lead runner. And the ball is grounded by South. We have a decision.
They've played it from a narrow part of the field for most of the game, and Sully hasn't been caught out of position. They opened up the field a bit more. They went to that far post. Adam Reynolds had players in motion. What a great lead line it was. Moses Sully made the decision to go in on the lead line. Watch this execution. Decoy runner, lead runner, out the back. That's the right halfback apparently, Cody Walker. He's now playing left fullback. They create the overlap. They get the reward. Wow, didn't they just push the go button? They scored a try off a wonderful cutout pass from Adam Reynolds. They went length of field and got a repeat set. This game was close about 4 minutes ago. 18-16 at half-time. They've just flexed their muscles.
Yeah, they're back. It would seem like their malaise might be over. 3 tries in the space of 15 minutes. Still 40 minutes to go in this contest. And Manly not the sort of team to be written off. It's Reynolds now to make it a 12-point contest. Not the easiest conditions, but he nails it. And it's all coming together for the Bunnies. Mark Gasnier, Brett Kamali, they have some come-from-behind wins this year. Have they got it in them today to drag in this deficit?
Well, I think so, Dan. Yeah, obviously they're a quality side, and Des Hasler's got them absolutely flying. They sit 5th on the ladder. South Sydney have had 54% of the ball and 100% completion rate. That's got to come back at some stage. You would think they would make a mistake and allow Manly some time in the game.
So the second half begins. And it's the Bunnies running with whatever wind we have, which does appear to have died down since the start of the game when it was howling. Here's Kyle Turner. Taken by Jake Trbojevic, who, unsurprisingly, has played all 40 minutes of this game so far. There's Amone. His second first-grade game. There's now Walker. He would have been emboldened by that try assist late in the first half. his first in a few weeks. There's Cook exploring. Now Sutton tangled up. The tackle there of Sirinen and also Waddell. So there's Reynolds. He doesn't strike that flush, but it might be a problem as the two Manly players, Sully and Walker, ran into each other. And it wasn't Sully, it might have been Elliott, but it was like a Three Stooges sketch. But Manly, with that shaky kick, in pretty good field position here. As Paseka will play it on tackle 3. Here's Fainu. Cast. A short pass for Thompson. He gets an offload. Jake Trbojevic to the 20. Now Waddell. Bubbling nicely here, the Sea Eagles. Jerry Evans. Sirinen hits the load hard. Sirinen goes for it, but is just short. Last tackle. Jerry Evans wants it on the right side. Doesn't get the kick spot on, but still an error from the Bunnies.
Well, Sirinen picks up where he left off in the first half. Terrorised Cody Walker over there on the right edge early. Good set from Manly. Jake Trbojevic organising his troops. DCE gets it on the right boot. A miscommunication there between Burns and Graham. But I tell you what, if they can get some points, Manly, while there's no Tapau, no Fanua-Blake, when those two come on, they will up the tempo. Second phase play. So an important period for Manly.
So Fainu breaks out the back. Jake Trbojevic. Not a pinpoint pass to Custon. He was a sitting duck for James Roberts. Now Waddell. He spent his few days off in Manly's bye week, tending the cattle and fixing fences on his family farm. Here's Paseka. They go the right again. Cherry Evans, beautiful pass to Sirinen. He scores another one for the Sea Eagles.
Really smart play, DCE. The previous period where he put the little kick in the previous set, he started on the long side and swept down the short side. He did the exact same thing on this occasion. He was thinking a two-pass play over to the open side, and he saw they were just late to get out of marker to get into first receiver, so he comes down this edge. All he had to do was get one-on-one. There it is, the indecision from Cody Walker. Didn't know whether to slide out or commit to the man. And that's just well executed. And I mentioned how important it is because when Fanua-Blake and Tapau come on, it's going to be a different Manly team.
Yeah, they certainly come out with some energy. We heard Tom Trbojevic say they lacked energy to finish the first half. I think Des might have got that energy back into him. He might have gave him a little chat at half-time, but it was really good playing there from Daly Cherry Evans because Cody Walker was the third man out on the tackle on Paseka, so he's late back into his line. He's standing still, and then Cherry's got the ability to skip from that A and B defender. How strong has Curtis Sirinen been running today, just busting tackles?
He's been doing it for a while, hasn't he? He blasted the Titans a couple of weeks ago, scored a double, scored a try against the Cowboys a couple of weeks before that as well, and generally has been most difficult to contend with. Here's Garrick to put Manly back within the converted try. 9 metres in from touch. No. A kick they may rue, but they get the first try this second half. Now Sydney 18-10. Now you can celebrate the season with your ultimate grand final package. Enjoy the official pre-game party, get an exclusive stadium tour and a chance to meet your favourite NRL players. You can book your experience at nrltravel.com. It's a day you don't want to miss, NRL Grand Final Day. Now that's a big kick. Jerry Evans, I think just for a moment thought he may have been able to stick a foot over the back there, but
I thought he could have as well. I was with you, Dan. I thought he could have got a boot over the dead ball, and geez, wouldn't that be a big blow?
And because he made the late decision, Manly are on the back foot here. Oh, a heavy hit there from Britt, who obviously passed that HIA as Thompson goes to ground. Make Trbojevic now.
Damien, lock in a marker.
Waddell, defence sits back and waits.
Roll out now, John Square.
And that'll end the set for Manly. Jerry Evans flirts with the sideline before the ball trickles into touch.
Well, they recovered in the end, didn't they? But the takeoff, the kickoff, DCE, back pedals. I thought maybe just there could have stuck a boot out. Easy to say from up here. It's hard to know where that dead ball line is, but they recovered well. Got a couple of quick play the balls. Joel Thompson over there on the left edge, then Waddell.
I wonder about the attention to detail. What do you get told when you go to junior rugby league? When you're standing on the sideline, do you get told to stand on the sideline or in 5 metres? If you're on the dead ball line, do you stand on the dead ball line or 5 metres in? Kids football.
Tell Des, not him.
So the Bunnies here been on the back foot in this second half. And Jaden Sewer manages to draw a penalty. So the Bunnies will get their first chance in this second period.
And that's the third penalty he's conceded, Dylan Walker. 2 offside penalties in the first half on his own goal line. These ones he's got to be careful of because they generally start to have the ascendancy then, Manly. Now they give South Sydney good field positioning.
So Roberts with his 5th run today. Running into Trbojevic. Now Reynolds. Monet. As Cook goes back to the right. Walker. Neat pass there. As Turner goes to ground. Here's Cook looking to run. Oh, then a wild pass, but Sully drops it. Oh, hang on, the ref said he's held it. And now it's a foot race. Sully, they're not going to get him. He's going to go all the way. Surely they'll look at this. Surely they will not blow the whistle on a try straight away.
Right decision, Mark. He got it off his knees. Okay, on a tackle 1. I have a try. Please confirm that there's no knock-on from Manly.
And I have to admit, I agree. I thought Cook got out. He threw the Hail Mary. He was hoping to hit one of his players. You got to remember, that's a knock back for Sully. That's his goal line over his left shoulder.
Yep.
So that's a knock back. And I'll tell you one thing, if it wasn't a knock on in the first half.
We've got a knock back by Moses Sully.
What about the second one? But I thought live, I thought it was play on. If anything, he's going to look at this second one. He knocks it back, and then he stops it with his left hand. That's fine.
That's clean.
Yeah, it's knocked back by Moses Sully. He takes possession cleanly off the ground.
I thought they were going to catch him, though. Moses Sully, it looked like Johnny Sutton's doing his best. I thought Campbell Graham or Burns was going to get there. I was going to say give the ball to Garrick, but Sully, he got there in the end.
In goal. We have a decision.
Hard to argue with that one. And it all came off that wild pass from Cook.
Talk to Graham, mate.
Well, we have a contest. Back-to-back tries for the Sea Eagles.
And there goes that perfect completion rate we spoke of in the first half. We knew they were going to get opportunities, not in Manly, but we probably didn't think this many this early.
They'd set up all their ball plays to the right side of the field. Reynolds, Walker have gone to the right, and Damien Cook jumps out of dummy half, and that's probably the worst pass he's thrown in 2019. and unfortunately, it's been knocked back by Sully, who's then gone 70 metres downfield.
Well, he was trying to hit Amoni. Look at Sully, he's thinking, I better take off. There's no one here.
So Moses Sully, he gets over for his 3rd try this year. Made his debut against South Sydney as a West Tigers player back in 2017. Been an up and down ride to get to here, but he gets over with a try there. So here's Garrick, similar kick to the one he just missed. This one a touch wider out. It's a better strike, but it doesn't come around. So it's 3 tries apiece, but South Sydney, they're just hanging on.
You can ask the question you posed to me at half-time, Dan. Can Manly come back? Can Manly make this a game? It's 18 points to 6. South Sydney have been perfect. Now it's 18-14, and yeah, for sure they can come back. And yes, 30 minutes to go. We've seen Wayne Bennett there just trying to get his head around what just happened with back-to-back tries. If they score again, I think Garrett Kicks the next goal. He's gone 1 left, 1 right. He might nail it for the victory.
Look at the run meters.
That could be quite prophetic. Brett Kamali. Here's Paseka.
Run meters hugely lopsided there to Manly.
Curtis Suranen running into turn-up as Corey Waddell works it upfield. Now Cherry Evans. That pass was read by Mono, but still Paseka makes a few extra metres. Jake Trbojevic almost to halfway. It's going to be Cust. Took his time putting his boot in the ball there. Here's Dewey. Up over his own 20. Now South Sydney would have gone into the sheds thinking, we've unlocked the key here. Opening up that 18-6 lead, but right back into a contest now. As Burns runs straight into Jake Trbojevic. Waddell helping as well. As now Britt hit hard. Here's Amone, his second first-grade game. It's actually Manly's New South Wales Cup Player of the Year last year, but part of the South Sydney system now as Reynolds kicks deep. Brendan Elliott, one-on-one tackle by Roberts.
Fanua Blake back out on the field now. Second. He comes off, so look for a bit more second phase play, a bit more play in around Fainu now.
And there is Fainu now. To Cherry Evans. And to Sully. Manly march it inside South Sydney territory. Comes back to Fanua Blake. Pretty well handled in his first stint. He gets an offload away there. There's Fainu. Now Cherry Evans. Cust. South Sydney not exactly in an even defensive line, but a good, strong tackle. There's Sewer. Comes up with it. Now the kick for the line, but Gagai reels it in. Then he's swamped by the Manly defence. But Gagai's smart enough to go straight in the ground. Now Sydney are back on their toes here.
Well, Manly are coming. Manly are pushing.
He's got Dewey dragged back into the end goal.
Corey Waddell, great line speed. Drake Trbojevic, he got in there as well, but it was Waddell, flew up out of the line, and that man there, he'd have his concerns, Wayne Bennett. Look at that, great contact as well on the left shoulder. Jake gets in there, as does Fainu. Big play.
We saw South do that to Manly late in the first half. Now the return of serve. All of a sudden, South Sydney hands on knees and looking a little fatigued. And all the defending in this second half. As Fanua Blake runs into Liam Knight with Britt down low. Here's Waddell. Busy today. That's his 9th run. As Fainu comes back to the middle to Jake Trbojevic. Threatens to pass. All handled there by the South Sydney front rowers. Jerry Evans looks to run. Escapes to Tola. Holds it out. Now Cust back to the right. Gets away from Walker. Important tackle from Burns. Burns falls off and Walker finishes it off. Inside the 10, the Seagulls with a couple of tackles left. Jerry Evans. Sheridan, the danger man. Well handled by Britt.
Short side.
That's where he goes. That's been put down by Cherry Evans, so South's come away with it. Now Campbell Graham is into the backfield as Finu looms up to cut him off. But South now on halfway. Roberts. Good Manly scramble as they are up in a even line.
I thought there was an opportunity to pass them for DCE.
Now Cook. There's a run. Well handled by Waddell. Liam Knight straight and hard. Looking for the quick play of the ball. And he gets the penalty. A very kickable goal here, which would put South Sydney 6 points clear.
Thought he was a bit hard done by then, Curtis Sheridan.
Watch this first. Tell me what you think, and I'll go.
Was there a little Hollywood there from Liam Knight?
He was blowing up about the little elbow.
Guys, the mark's on the line.
So that makes the penalty count 8-1 in favour of South Sydney.
Wow.
You reckon that man might mention that in the post-game press conference?
Subtly.
So here's Reynolds. 3 from 4 today. Make it 4 from 5. Still a one-score contest and a lot of football to be played.
Marty Tapau out there now as well. There's the little elbow there that Curtis Sheridan's blowing up about. They look the best when they still play some football, Manly, so they still need to keep that same sort of shape. By that I mean the structure to be able to move the ball to Moses Sully, get the metres, but then you've got the option to get in behind the ruck with Tapau and Blake.
Don't forget, after this game, we're off to Suncorp Stadium for the Broncos and the Warriors. And then it's the big one, Melbourne versus Cronulla, game number 400 for Cam Smith. Bonnie and the team down there at Amy Park. Some big plans for before the game, and quite fitting, isn't it, that that the 400 is not only brought up at Amy, but against their old foe, the Cronulla Sharks. And had some wonderful contests down there. So South looking to have steadied after conceding those couple of tries as Britt down the middle. Now Liam Knight powers up to the 40. Good set for South following those points. As Reynolds goes end over end. And Elliott takes it comfortably despite Burns pouring down on him. And the audacious pass to Tafua, who shoves away from Dane Gagai. He's in a mood today, George.
Isn't he what?
Here's Walker under pressure. Now Garrick, Manly bunched up as Garrick looks to create something out of nothing. Thompson. The Cook and Knight. Quick play the ball. Vanua Blake. Makes heavy contact there with Dean Britt, who's had a rough old afternoon. Good strong defence in the end as Tapau makes it beyond halfway. Jerry Evans on the left this time, but changes the play back to the right before he finally kicks. And looks for distance. Here's Graham.
He ran away from Jake that time.
Curtis, hands off, give space. Stay straight. One.
Here's Braden Burns. Had that hamstring tear, so a welcome return. Now Cameron Murray. 32 superb minutes on Wednesday as Cook gives it on to Roberts. Getting a roll on here, the Bunnies. Nice quick play the ball again. Totola holding Fainu at bay. Fanua coming in over the top. Walker's kick. Comfortably covered by Brendan Elliott, but Brick times his run to perfection.
Big set there from South Sydney. They just showed Manly how to do it. You've got to power through the middle, run direct, take the metres. Then you get your dummy half some time to play some football. Look how compressed the South's line are, because Manly are a bunch.
Look at that. Throw a blanket over them. Now Sirinen. That's already 4 tackles elapsed. And Totola gives it away.
You have to go to the side.
Well, that'd infuriate Wayne Bennett. After a great attacking set, good kick, great defensive set off the back of it, to then concede that penalty.
That'll make Sirinen feel better. He gave away the controversial penalty. Like a poker player on tilt, you win the next hand, then it's all okay. Here's Fanua Blake's offload to Fainu down the middle. All of a sudden, Manly knocking on the door. Here's to Powell, almost splitting them open.
Brendan Elliott's got to sit on their offloads.
Cust. There's Elliott. The cutout to Fua. Steps inside Gagai. Oh, what a tackle there to save it. It was James Roberts in the nick of time. Now here's Cust running. Going
Gotta get there.
He'll get there. Cade Cust scores. Reynolds not happy.
Okay, mate.
And he's won
We're gonna
a
tackle
review.
4. Have a try. Please review grounding.
Not sure Grant Atkins was going to look at that, but it was a hearty appeal from Adam Reynolds.
Oh.
Now then.
He's held onto it. Gagai's raked it out, but you watch. He regathers it with the forearm. There's Gagai.
Well, there's never been separation from the body, has there?
Possession is lost by Cade Cust over the goal line. We have a decision.
Wow.
Can you tell me how that is a loss of possession and Moses Sully is not a knock-on? Because I don't get it. I really don't.
Time on. It's knock on in the in
It was great footwork from Cust. The big right foot eventually get through.
Well done, Dane Gagai. Whether it's the right decision or not, it's a superb play. The presence of mind to rake it out. Well, there'll be South fans watching thinking, well, they got a try they shouldn't have in the first half, but now Manly get their chance.
Brett, who's been exceptional today.
What a game of momentum swings this has been. Manly were struggling for a few minutes there. Now they're on the front foot. So we see some handy work from Tapau to put Britain in an awkward position.
And after being 14 from 14 in the first half, South Sydney, they're now 5 from 8. Cust one again, double right foot step, left arm fend on Gagai. And I thought in the slow-mo, I thought he held it in his forearm.
So Manly get another chance. Fainu goes short side. Here's Cust. Oh, big hit! Jaden Sewer!
Wow!
Cust rocked off his feet, but gets up quickly. That's the 10-metre line in front of Jake Trbojevic. Cust. Fanua Blake running wide. Well handled. 2 tackles left. Walker to Cust. Cust to Fainu. Fainu to a running Cherry Evans. Now Sirinen. That was well read by Walker and also Britt. Last play, they come back to the middle of Cherry Evans. Nurses a grubber. Reynolds does well, but he hasn't got a chance. And Cherry Evans gets the result.
He's the best in the competition, isn't he, at getting it through the defensive line. Look at this hit. Oh!
How tough that was, Kate Cust. He just gets up and goes, oh, good boys. How good's this game?
They actually had 3-on-2. I thought he was going to throw the long ball. But you're right, he's tough as nails. Gets straight up. But Daly Cherry Evans, his ability to get it through that defensive line when there's so many defenders there, that's a very, very good skill.
So the fourth dropout South have been forced to produce here. And it's Fanua Blake. First to hit it up. So it was 18-6 to South at half-time. Manly quickly put on 2 tries, failed to convert.
Oh, good feet.
As Tapau up to the 20, finds support in Elliott. Now Jake Trbojevic. This is only tackle 2. Cust. Taken by Thompson. Then he threw a shaky one. It's Fainu to Dylan Walker. Nowhere to go. But still fights through the tackle. Jake Trbojevic. Cherry Evans. Brendan Elliott. Terrific one-on-one tackle there from Walker. Back to Cherry Evans. The switch of play with the short pass to Sirinen. South answer all the questions as we get to the final play. Orsuli, what's he doing with it on the last? He kicks it straight to Walker. And Manly, that's a rarity. They have been very efficient on last tackles, but not there.
I think that was the wrong man to throw the ball to in the wrong part of the position of the field. Down a short side with about 3 metres to move when your halfback's on the open. Who just got a wonderful repeat set.
Here's James Roberts looking for work. This has turned into a terrific contest as Gagai goes out of dummy half.
He's got a lot more involved today, James Roberts, on his 4th game for South Sydney.
Reynolds, his kick sits up for Garrick. Skipping across that 20-metre line. Escapes Sewer. And straightens and carries it beyond the 30. So fair position for Manly here. As Ruben Garrick went down like an extra in a Hollywood B movie. Now here's Tapau.
There's 15 minutes to go, Dan, and this is where Manly need to be a lot better. This is where the game is on the line. Minimal shape as we're starting to pull off the ball now. It takes them about 4 tackles to get anything happening out of yardage.
It's the offloads that are asking the questions. Fainu to Elliott. Wrapped up there on tackle number 4.
Look at the offloads, 15-4.
Now Curtis Sirinen make it 16 offloads. Fainu looking dangerous as this game wears on. Last tackle. Cust. Left foot kick. Played at by Murray. But hang on, it's a knock-on against the Sea Eagles.
I'd love to see Kate Cust just catch and pass to Dylan Walker.
Hang on, we're not starting the clock.
There's so much space out there. The right edge of South Sydney looks really vulnerable. Cust, he eventually got the football back, but he come up with a knock-on. There's been 3 occasions now. Just get that ball out to Dylan Walker. There is a lot of space out there.
And what looks like bad news now for Manly as we see Cust.
It's more off Murray, isn't it?
Well, Murray's knocked it. Cust has held it, but this is bad news. The dummy half is leaving the field.
What a game changer this is.
Lachlan Croker will come on. You do too. I'd put Kate Cust into hooker. I think he could be a really good hooker one day, Kate Cust. Put Lachlan Croker in the halves. You're right. That is a concern, Noddy.
This is the injury here. One of the knees. But they lose that threat around that dummy half area now. It changes the game for them.
Hard to see him coming back, isn't it? So 13 minutes to go. An absorbing contest here at ANZ Stadium.
Hands off. Space, Jake.
He's going to leave Croker in the middle.
Here's Burns. Now Murray. Oh, he forces a pass there that sends Sutton scurrying. Sirenen's all over him. So is Croker. He's now struggling in this set. Here's Knight down the middle. And he's dropped the ball. He's put that down. Manly rewarded. Terrific defensive set, and now a terrific chance.
It was a great defensive set, wasn't it? We just saw Faiini go up the tunnel earlier, but they sweated on the Cameron Murray offload. Johnny Sutton got caught back. Curtis Sirenen was all over it. He made 3 tackles in a row.
But, Gaz, that's not South Sydney's style out of yardage. They've had 5 offloads all game, and yet they want to offload under pressure, under yardage, when the game is on the line, and Manly are into your face.
It's inexperience.
So let's see what Manly have got here. They go the short side. Cherry Evans to Dylan Walker.
Get off now! Straight up, Dave! Wait, Junior, hold!
And they get their 3rd try this half and perhaps level us up. To Powell. Tries to push away from Murray. Cook needs to get involved.
Here's 10. Square. Hold, back here! Go 2.
Jake Trbojevic. Vanua Blake up to the 10. It takes 3 to get involved to put him down.
Now, John! Hold, wait! Go 3.
Croker sends it to Cherry Evans. Now Jake Trbojevic against the grain. He gets an offload away. Croker. Cast. Tries to do it on his own. Now the pass to Croker, who takes on Sewer. Sewer just hangs on. 2 tackles left. Cherry Evans, Jake Trbojevic.
Got numbers right.
Cherry Evans on that right side. He gets it now. The stab kick. That ricochets. That's picked up by Walker. That's brilliant. Now he puts the foot down. Over halfway. Garrick and Elliott loom up. But what a huge play that is from Cody Walker. Cook. Reynolds. He sees Thompson has rushed up out of the line but can't take advantage. Now Cook goes for a dart.
Could they be thinking 1 point?
Roberts holding it. Now he runs. Now he's passed that off the floor.
Tackle for weight.
Gaz, I'd be thinking 1 point. I'd be thinking get to the middle. And Adam Reynolds, who's nailed plenty of field goals in his time.
Here's to Tola. Singing it out to Sewer. 2 on 2. They don't argue, but Sewer rounded up.
Great tackle, Thompson.
So if the field goal was the plan, it's going to be from wide out. Here's Reynolds. He dummies and goes himself, and he's taken on the last.
It's a handover, just wait. Here's John.
And that, going by that reaction, didn't appear to be the plan from Adam Reynolds.
Well, he's already got 18 forced dropouts in 2019. He normally gets that straight through. And they get a repeat set of 6. I think the only thing I could think of that he was concerned of conceding the 7 tackle set.
Yeah. And for Manly now, Cade Custer's going to go off to the HIA as well.
Jeez, that hurts.
So this causes the 9 and the 6 to go, bleeding from the nose.
Morgan Boyle.
Everything becomes about Daly Cherry Evans now.
Yeah.
Gents, he got hit as they completed their last set before Souths made that break. He was struggling to get back into the defensive line for Manly that entire defensive set. The trainer was trying to get him to assess him. He was wobbling all over the place, so he definitely needed to come off for that HIA.
Well, he doesn't look like a man that could come back anyway, but given there's only 9 to go, this match would have to go to golden point for him to be even a chance of returning to this contest. Looks like his afternoon might be over.
And just an update on Fainu. Manly are telling me it is severe cramp.
Oh.
Just saw there the tackle in opposition's 20, all Manly, 21-4. Severe cramp. Wouldn't really like to front the coach and explain a severe cramp.
Well, does that open the door for a late entry back into the game? That can be overcome somehow. Here's Morgan Boyle.
Well, I think that was their 7th in the change of the HIA, but they've used 7. Good line, good line.
Surinan down the middle, into the backfield. Tapau looming up, comes to Marty, away from Graham, but Graham just hangs on.
Left corner, Dan.
One tackle left. Croker goes right. Jerry Evans rolls in a grubber. It's an awful bounce. It's a try! It's a try to Thompson! And Manly will have a kick to tie this game.
Right, got a try. Please confirm onside, and then Joel Thompson's grounding, please.
Well, I thought they went the wrong way. Daly Cherry Evans over on the right edge, comes back across to the left.
Left side of Daly Cherry Evans is cleared as onside.
I mentioned how good he is at getting the football through those small gaps.
Touch by South Sydney, tackle count restarts. Joel Thompson takes possession.
Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's...
And he grounds the ball in the goal. We have a decision.
No question there. And now it's 20-18. They are a resilient bunch, aren't they, these Manly Sea Eagles?
Oh, they are. They are.
They've been doing it all year.
Well, and he's one of the most consistent performers, Joel Thompson. He goes without fuss. He's underrated in his skill. Got a great offload. Curtis Surinan, though, he has been sensational today. Terrorised Cody Walker on this occasion, straight through the middle. And look who's in support. Big Marty Tapau. He does the right thing, doesn't try to push the offload. And Daly Cherry Evans, I mentioned, thought he went the wrong way. Got it back through that little gap. Horrible bounce for Gagai. But Joel Thompson.
Yeah, sometimes you get to make your own luck, and Manly have earned the right to get down this end of the field. They've caused mistakes. They've had plenty of energy. You're right about Curtis Surinan. 16 runs, 169 metres, 8 tackle busts. It's a man on a mission.
His last 6 weeks of football have been special.
Well, it's just fantastic to see him get through touchwood injury-free and just have an uninterrupted run and see what he's capable of.
It makes a big difference, Dan. When you're a player, if you can string together, you know, more than 9 or 10 first-grade games, it gives you the opportunity to perform at your best.
Well, Ruben Garrett. He ties us up. These two teams went to golden point in round 4. They're tied up with 6.5 minutes to go here. It's all on the back of a wonderful Manly comeback.
Yeah, Surinan started the first try in the second half. South Sydney have only had a shot at goal. And Sully goes leg to the field, and Joel Thompson gets the third. There's a bit of noise happening if you're a Manly fan.
Well, we're in a fascinating position. Manly seem to have the momentum, but they also have no Cade Cust and no Manasi Fainu.
Well, Dan Fainu's back out there. He's got some special cream on that lower left leg, and the cramps healed.
What a recovery.
And they're lucky Cade Cust was a HIA. And that would have been their interchange just gone.
So here's Fanua Blake bringing it back.
Oh, the next mistake, Dan. The next mistake might cost you the game. 6 minutes, 40 to go. Who wins?
Jerry Evans sends it on to Tapau. Oh, an audacious pass. It's taken by Roberts. And now he shakes off to Fua. And it's Manly who crack.
Now you think 1 point, Reynolds. Steer him around, get him to the post.
Knight just carves it up the centre.
You want to go off a Murray, play the ball nice and quick.
Oh, here's Murray now. But he's ignored as Walker inside to Sutton.
Here we come.
They're keeping it towards the centre.
Here we come.
Reynolds is back, but they go left. Walker, he's almost there.
That's tackle three.
And he's held up.
Tackle 3, Dylan.
So that will allow Manly to retreat.
Mark White.
Well, Reynolds just talking to Cameron Murray now. He's pointing, get me to the middle of the post.
Yeah, Damien Cook will be the assisting on the long ball. Get to the middle.
Not the greatest pass there for Cook. Now here's Murray and the offload back to Cook. Gets it on to Bailey Sirinen. Reynolds is 10 metres back on the right. But Cook looks to go flat. Now goes to Reynolds. And Reynolds has nailed it. They're back in front, the Bunnies. We still, though, have 5.5 minutes to go.
Well, it wasn't by the script, but they got there in the end. They pretty much went down that left edge 3 times. They eventually got the ball back to Reynolds, and geez, he can strike a football. Under all sorts of pressure there from Thompson. Nails it.
Damien Cook made it so hard for him by actually not passing the ball to him early. It's like, here, our defenders, see if you can get Adam Reynolds and I'll throw him on the ball under pressure. 18th field goal, and he's right, Gaz. He's just nailed it. You get one shot at it, and you've got to execute it, and he has on plenty of big occasions.
Second field goal for the year. He kicked one that ended up being futile against West Tigers a couple of weeks ago. But right now, he's got the Bunnies in front, Adam Reynolds. Haley Cherry-Evans, the only Manly player to have ever kicked a field goal in this Manly squad. We know he can kick them from distance. They're going to get the ball back.
And left-footed. Marty Tapau, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Sua's had a nice debut, hasn't he, for South? Hitting it up on that previous play, and now Bailey Sirinen goes to ground. Now Reynolds for the corner. Elliott bringing it back. He shakes off Dane Roberts. Now Gagai looms up. That's a tremendous start to this set for Manly. We've heard that call a few times from the referees. Milking is Tafua. Fainu. Boyle. That's 3 tackles gone. Fainu goes to Tapau. No offload this time. Jake Trbojevic up to the 40. The late offload for Fainu. Hung on to by Murray, but another offload as it comes back to Sirinen. 35 out, Cherry-Evans on the right. And he goes conservative. Adam Dewey almost has the ball ripped out of his hands.
Into South.
Oh, knock on Manly.
Huge call.
Into South. Have a handover.
Ruben Garrick almost came up with the miraculous play. He's not happy with that decision.
I was going to call Gaz offside South Sydney.
Yeah.
Which would have gave a penalty to Manly.
Good response, though, from South Sydney. They've looked good every time they've gone in behind the ruck. James Roberts has come in. They've rolled upfield easily.
It hasn't been a game without contentious decisions.
No.
2.5 to go. Here's Cook. Up to halfway. South have handled this well, haven't they, since taking that lead. There's the fullback Dewey. And there's wrapped up centre field. Here's Reynolds. Looking for the corner. Tafua. And he's wrapped up just outside his 10.
Yeah, and a good set from South Sydney. They're going to have to take a risk here, Manly.
You think they're not going to get the ball back, Gaz, would you, again? So they need to all get on side, and they need to put everything into this next 4 tackles.
Been a draining game. Have they got the energy for one last charge? Boyle plays it for Fainu. Now Cherry-Evans. Here's Sully. He's had an impact this afternoon, but handled nicely there. Tapau. Cherry-Evans under pressure. Reynolds almost ripped that ball out of his hands. And the pass that bounces to Dylan Walker. Can't escape Roberts. Halfway line, last tackle. Croker, Cherry-Evans. They need something miraculous. It's a wild pass. Taken by Sutton. Now he clears away. Up to the 30. and conservatively goes to ground. They should be home now, the Bunnies. Liam Knight protecting the ball like an NFL running back. Well, this has been hard fought for South as Dewey holds on to it. We've milked this clock well in this last minute. Cook. Away from Thompson. As Dewey will go to ground. And after Manly won by a point in round 4, South Sydney return the favour. Boy, the Sea Eagles made them earn that. And South Sydney end their 4-game losing streak with a gritty 21 points to 20 win over the gallant Manly Sea Eagles. And South Sydney return, at least for the time being, to second on the ladder. And Manly miss a chance to go into the top 4. But they certainly wouldn't have lost any admirers today.